All right, get ready to dive deep, because today we're talking Phuket real estate. We've got this awesome blog post, tons of insider tips, the whole nine
Oh,
yards.
yeah, this is going to be good.
So if you've ever, thought about owning a little piece of paradise, making it a smart investment too,
Who hasn't?
you are in the right place.
Phuket, it's more than just like those picture-perfect beaches and fancy villas.
Right.
We're talking global investors,
Mhm.
people who want their properties to basically pay for themselves.
So, okay, let's break this down. Phuket's hot, we get it, but gotta be more than just pretty beaches,
Oh,
right?
absolutely.
Sure.
Way more. Luxury properties are booming like crazy.
Yeah.
10% increase year over year. We're talking Patong, Kata, Coron. These aren't just vacation spots anymore. They're real estate gold mines.
And that means big returns for investors.
Exactly.
Some serious cash, up to 8% rental yields. Can you imagine? Just owning a little slice of paradise, and that money's just rolling in.
It's a dream. But savvy investors, like yourself, know there's more to it than just sunshine and cocktails. You got to navigate the legal stuff, especially foreign ownership in Thailand.
Yeah, okay, hit me with the need-to-knows. What are the rules we're playing by here?
So foreigners can't own land outright,
Right.
but condos, yeah, you can own those.
Okay.
As long as foreign ownership in a building stays under 49%.
Okay.
Land, though, you're looking at a 30-year leasehold agreement.
Leasehold, so it's kind of like a really long-term rental, right?
Exactly, you got it. You have a right to use the land, develop it, even sell it, but just for that lease period.
Gotcha.
You absolutely got to have a good legal team, though, guiding you through all the fine print. This isn't something you want to DIY.
So it's like having a real estate Sherpa,
Uh-huh, yeah, pretty much.
guiding you through the Thai legal system. Worth every penny, I'd say. But okay, enough about the serious stuff. Let's get to the fun part. This blog post is packed with tips on making your Phuket property a star.
One thing for sure, strategic renovations. Imagine a killer kitchen, a spa-like bathroom. That's going to bump up the appeal and the value.
It's that wow factor, right? Especially for international buyers who are scrolling through listings online.
Oh, yeah, huge. Virtual tours are everything these days. Those photos and videos, that's your first impression. Spending a little to spruce things up, that can mean attracting those high-paying renters.
So location is key, but so is presentation.
Definitely.
You're selling a whole lifestyle. But it's not just a one-time thing, right? What about keeping things in tip-top shape?
Maintenance, maintenance, maintenance.
Yeah.
It protects your investment, keeps your tenants happy. Think great reviews, longer stays, less downtime.
It's like a happy tenant domino effect.
Yeah, exactly.
Happy tenants, good reviews, more bookings, more money in your pocket. And even with a stunning property, I'm guessing you still need a local team, right?
100%. A good local agent, that's essential. They're your eyes and ears on the ground. The difference between a good deal and a great one.
So what makes a great agent? How do you separate the pros from, like, the amateurs?
Experience, for sure. Someone who knows Phuket inside and out, knows the market, knows how to handle the legal side of things.
And connections. They need to know what's available, what's selling hot.
Oh, definitely. They're your insider, your secret weapon. Local expertise, it's invaluable. And while we're on the subject of the A-team, property management, that's a game changer, especially if you're not in Phuket full-time.
Hold on, you're saying I can chill out, let someone else handle the day-to-day stuff?
You got it. Tenants, rent collection, maintenance, any issues that pop up.
Sign me up.
Enjoy the benefits of owning in Phuket without the headaches.
Sounds almost too good to be true. But let's not forget, we're here to be smart investors. We got to stay ahead of the game. That means getting the latest intel. Where do we go for that?
Well, the internet's a treasure trove, right? Websites like Property Guru, HipFlat, they've got listings, market data, everything. Local news, government reports, those can give you insight into economic trends and policy changes.
So it's like having Phuket market data beamed right to your phone.
Exactly.
But what about, like, real-world networking? Any benefits to actually getting out there, meeting other investors?
For sure. Those local property exhibitions, networking events, they're gold. You get to hear from experts, meet developers, even connect with other investors who've been there, done that.
So it's like joining a secret society of Phuket real estate gurus.
Uh-huh. Yeah, pretty much.
All right, we've got our legal team, our agent, our property manager. We're plugged into the market.
Sounds like we're ready to go.
But what about those economic storms that inevitably come along? How do you recession-proof a Phuket real estate investment?
That's where market analysis, deep market analysis, becomes your best friend. It's not about seeing the future. It's about understanding the forces at play. Property demand, economic indicators, local developments. You got to be informed, not just reacting.
So we're talking proactive, not just sitting back and hoping for the best. What kind of things should we be watching out for?
Price fluctuations for sure. Are prices going up steadily, or are things slowing down? Then there's the supply and demand balance. More buyers than properties, or the other way around. That can change fast, especially in a tourist-heavy market like Phuket.
It's like surfing. Gotta know when to catch the wave and when to paddle back to shore. But let's say things take an unexpected turn, even with all this analysis. What are some ways to reduce risk during a downturn?
Diversification is key. We've talked about spreading your investments across different property types, but you can also look at things like real estate funds or property syndications.
Okay, break those down for me. What's the advantage there?
Real estate funds? Think of it like a basket of properties managed by professionals. You pool your money with other investors, get access to bigger, more diverse assets.
So it's a team effort, spreading the risk, spreading the potential reward, too. What about these property syndications?
Syndications, it's similar, but it's a smaller group coming together to buy a specific property. Imagine you and some friends pooling resources to buy that beachfront villa we were talking about.
Now that's an investment strategy I can get behind. But even with diversification, there's one thing that's absolutely crucial, especially during a recession. Our blog post calls it out as the most important thing: cash flow.
Cash flow is king, absolutely, especially when the economy gets a little rocky. It's the fuel that keeps your investment running.
So how do you make sure you've got enough fuel in the tank to ride out any storm?
It starts with consistent rental income. Are your properties attracting tenants year-round? Are you adjusting your rental rates to match the season?
Right, because an empty property is costing you money, not making it.
Exactly. And just like you'd have an emergency fund for yourself, unexpected expenses, it's smart to have a financial cushion for your investments too. Some reserves to cover unexpected repairs, or if things slow down for a bit, can be a real lifesaver.
Okay, I'm starting to see how all these pieces fit together. But let's get back to the basics of Phuket real estate for a minute. This blog post gives some great examples of property types and average prices. Let's break those down, get a sense of what's out there.
So for those looking for something modern, low maintenance, good rental potential, luxury condos are a great place to start. They average around 45 million THB with rental yields around 6–8%.
Not bad for a property that practically manages itself. What about those who are drawn to Phuket's hospitality scene?
Licensed guest houses, those are a great option. They cater to tourists directly and can have even higher returns, sometimes 10–12%.
Double-digit returns, now you're talking my language. But I'm guessing it's not just collecting rent checks, right?
Guest houses, they need a bit more hands-on management. You're essentially running a small business, so it's a more active investment approach.
So you're trading higher potential returns for a more involved role. Makes sense. But we can't forget about those beachfront villas, those dream properties.
Ah, the ultimate trophy asset. Luxury, privacy, those incredible ocean views. They're a serious investment. But for those seeking exclusivity, nothing beats them.
And I bet they command top dollar, especially during those peak seasons. But let's talk numbers for a second. The blog post gives some concrete figures, which I think is really helpful to put all this into perspective.
A one-bedroom condo, you're probably looking at around 7,716,000 THB. A three-bedroom villa, closer to 16,900,000 THB.
Okay, now those numbers are starting to give us a clearer picture. But we can't forget about those hidden costs, the ones that can really sneak up on you.
Oh, absolutely. Legal fees, agent commissions, renovations, management fees, those can add up fast if you're not careful.
So it's like that old saying, measure twice, cut once. Do your homework, factor in all the costs, and avoid any financial surprises down the road. But even when you've got a good grasp of property types and pricing, Phuket's a diverse island, lots of different areas to choose from. How do you navigate that aspect of the market?
Regional valuations, that's key.
Mhm.
Different areas, different investment opportunities, different pricing, and growth potential.
So it's not just about what type of property, it's about where in Phuket you buy it. What are some of the things to keep in mind when choosing a location?
Patong, with its nightlife and beachfront location, you're going to pay a premium there. You're paying for convenience, for being in the heart of the action.
So that's where you go for high visibility, potentially higher rental rates, but maybe not the most peaceful environment. What about those who are looking for something a little more laid back?
Areas like Rawai, they offer a different kind of charm. More tranquil, beautiful beaches, local markets, slower pace of life.
So it's a trade-off, the excitement of Patong versus the peace of Rawai. Each region's going to have its own price points and growth potential.
Exactly. Researching those regional differences is crucial to make sure your investment fits your lifestyle and your financial goals.
All right, we've covered a ton of ground here. Market analysis, diversification, property types, regional valuations. It's clear that Phuket has a ton to offer savvy investors. But before we wrap things up, let's remind ourselves why Phuket's such a hot spot in the first place.
Phuket's got undeniable growth potential. Property values are climbing. The economy looks strong.
And it's a tourism powerhouse, which means a strong and stable rental market, potential for passive income, long-term stability for owners.
Plus, Phuket's economy is becoming more diverse. Infrastructure development, government policies supporting sustainable growth. It's not just about tourism anymore.
So it's a beautiful island paradise with a thriving and resilient real estate market backed by a diversifying economy. Sounds like a winning combination to me. But before you pack your bags and start house hunting, remember that pre-investment checklist we talked about earlier.
Oh, that's crucial for making smart, informed decisions. First, do that deep market dive. Understand the current conditions, price trends, and the regional differences in valuations.
Knowledge is power. Next, be careful about property valuations. Compare prices, research different areas, and make sure you're getting a fair deal.
And finally, don't just think about today. Think long-term. Investigate Phuket's growth prospects beyond just tourism. Infrastructure, government policies, economic diversification. Make sure your investment is aligned with a region that's set for long-term success.
So we've covered a ton of ground here, from the allure of Phuket to the legal considerations, from strategic renovations to exit strategies and everything in between. But wait, there's one more thing. Remember that mention of modern condos near the monument in Phuket?
That did catch my eye. What kind of advantages might that location offer for potential renters? How does it combine tranquility and convenience? And what kind of returns could investors expect?
Those are excellent questions. It's like a mini deep dive waiting to happen. But for now, let's turn our attention back to the source material.
There's still much to uncover in the fascinating world of Phuket real estate.
It's like tapping into this inner circle of Phuket experts.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so we've got the legal team, the agent, the property manager. We're on top of all the market info.
Sounds like we're all set.
But what about, when the economy takes a dip? How do you make sure your Phuket investment can weather the storm, recession-proof it?
Well, that's where serious market analysis comes in. It's your secret weapon. Not about predicting the future, but understanding what drives the market. Demand, economic indicators, what's happening locally. It's about being prepared, not caught off guard.
So being proactive, not just crossing our fingers and hoping for the best. What are some of the things we should be keeping an eye on?
Definitely price fluctuations. Are prices going up steadily, or is there a slowdown? And then there's the whole supply and demand thing. Are there more buyers than properties, or vice versa? That can change really quickly, especially in a place like Phuket, where tourism plays such a big role.
Yeah, like riding a wave, you got to know when to ride it and when to head back to shore. But let's say, even with all the analysis, things take a turn. What are some ways to, minimize risk during a downturn?
Diversification. We've talked about spreading investments across different types of properties, but you can also consider things like real estate funds or property syndications.
Okay, so break those down for me. What's the benefit there?
Real estate funds. Think of it as a basket of properties managed by pros. You pool your money with other investors, get access to larger, more diverse assets.
So it's like a team effort, everyone shares their risk and the potential rewards. What about these property syndications?
Syndications are similar, but it's a smaller group, coming together to buy a specific property. Like, imagine you and a few friends pooling resources to buy that amazing beachfront villa we talked about.
Okay, that I can get behind. But even with diversification, there's one thing that's super important, especially in a recession. The blog post calls it out as the most crucial thing: cash flow.
Yeah, cash flow is king, especially when times are tough. It's what keeps your investment afloat.
How do you make sure you've got enough coming in to handle anything that comes your way?
Consistent rental income is key. Are your properties attracting tenants year-round? Are you adjusting your rental rates to match the season?
Yeah, because an empty property is a money pit, not an investment.
Exactly. And just like you have an emergency fund for unexpected personal expenses, it's smart to have a financial cushion for your investments too. A little something set aside to cover those unexpected repairs, or if there's a dip in bookings. It can make all the difference.
I'm seeing how all these pieces fit together now. But let's get back to the nuts and bolts of Phuket real estate for a second. The blog post gives some great examples of property types and average prices. Let's break those down so we have a clearer picture of what's out there.
Sure. For those looking for something modern, low maintenance with good rental potential, luxury condos are a great starting point. They average around 45 million THB with rental yields in the 6–8% range.
Not bad for a property that pretty much takes care of itself. What about those who are interested in Phuket's hospitality industry?
Licensed guest houses are a good option. They cater to tourists directly and can have even higher returns, sometimes 10–12%.
Double-digit returns, now we're talking. But I'm guessing it's more involved than just collecting rent, right?
Yeah, guest houses require more hands-on management. You're basically running a small business, so it's a more active investment.
So you're trading those higher potential returns for a more active role. Makes sense. But we can't forget about those dream properties, those beachfront villas.
Ah, yes, the ultimate trophy asset. Luxury, privacy, those incredible ocean views. They're a significant investment, but for those seeking exclusivity, there's nothing quite like it.
I bet those command top dollar during peak season. But let's talk numbers. This blog post gives some concrete figures, which is super helpful for putting everything into perspective.
A one-bedroom condo, you're probably looking at around 7,716,000 THB. A three-bedroom villa, closer to 16,900,000 THB.
Okay, now those numbers are starting to make things a bit more real. But we can't forget about those hidden costs, the things that can sneak up on you.
Right, things like legal fees, agent commissions, renovations, management fees, they can really add up if you're not careful.
It's like that saying, measure twice, cut once. You got to do your homework, factor in all the costs, and avoid any nasty surprises later on. But even when you've got a handle on property types and pricing, Phuket is a diverse island, lots of different areas. How do you choose where to invest?
That's where regional valuations come in. Different areas offer different investment opportunities with varying pricing and growth potential.
So it's not just about what you buy, it's about where you buy it in Phuket. What are some of the things to consider when choosing a location?
Patong, with its nightlife and beachfront location, you're going to pay a premium there. You're paying for the convenience, the energy of being in the heart of it all.
So that's where you go for high visibility, potentially higher rental rates, but maybe not the most tranquil environment. What about those who are seeking a more laid-back vibe?
Areas like Rawai offer a different kind of charm. More tranquil, beautiful beaches, local markets, a slower pace of life.
So it's a trade-off. The excitement and energy of Patong versus the peace and tranquility of Rawai. Each area has its own price points and potential for growth.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Researching those regional differences is essential to make sure your investment aligns with your lifestyle and your financial goals.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here. Market analysis, diversification, property types, regional valuations. Phuket clearly has a lot to offer investors. But before we wrap things up, let's remind ourselves what makes Phuket such a hot spot in the first place.
Phuket has undeniable growth potential. Property values are steadily increasing and the economic outlook is strong.
And it's a tourism powerhouse, which means a strong and resilient rental market. That means potential for passive income and long-term stability for property owners.
Plus, Phuket's economy is diversifying, with infrastructure developments and government policies supporting sustainable growth. It's not just reliant on tourism anymore.
So it's a beautiful island paradise with a thriving real estate market backed by a diversifying economy. Sounds like a winning combination to me. But before you pack your bags and start house hunting, remember that pre-investment checklist we talked about earlier.
Absolutely. It's crucial for making smart, informed decisions. First, do that thorough market deep dive. Understand current conditions, price trends, and the regional differences in valuations.
Knowledge is power. Next, be vigilant about those property valuations. Compare prices, research different areas, and make sure you're getting a fair deal.
And finally, don't just focus on the present, think long-term. Investigate Phuket's growth prospects beyond just tourism infrastructure, government policies, economic diversification. Make sure your investment is aligned with a region that's set for long-term success.
Okay, so we've gone through a ton about Phuket real estate, the legal stuff, cash flow, diversification. But before anyone books a flight and starts making offers, let's talk about that pre-investment checklist, those must-dos before you actually commit your money.
Right. This is your due diligence phase.
Yeah.
You know, put on your detective hat, separate the emotions from the logic, make sure you're making a smart, informed decision.
Yeah, so step one, market conditions. Like checking the weather forecasts before you go hiking, you got to know what you're getting into.
Exactly. Is it a buyer's market, A seller's market? Are prices going up, slowing down? Remember, Phuket's market, it's global, but it's got its own rhythm too.
Right. Tourism plays a huge role, so things can change fast. What are some key things to watch?
Price trends, definitely. Holding steady, or is there a bubble brewing? Then there's the balance between supply and demand.
Mm-hmm.
More properties than buyers, or the other way around.
Because if everyone wants a piece of Phuket, that's going to push prices up, right?
Oh, absolutely. And don't forget the bigger picture. How's the Thai economy doing? Any government policies, infrastructure projects, anything that could impact the real estate market?
So it's about like connecting the dots, seeing how everything fits together. Okay, market conditions, check. What's next?
Property valuations. Prices can be all over the place in Phuket. Depends on location, type of property, amenities, all that.
Yeah, two beachfront villas might look similar, but one could be worth way more based on like a bunch of different things.
Exactly. That's why you got to compare. Don't just look at asking prices.
Yeah.
Look at recent sales. Talk to local agents. Get a feel for what things are actually selling for.
It's like buying a car. You wouldn't just walk in and buy the first one you see.
Nope. Take your time. Get the information. Make sure you're not overpaying.
So market conditions, valuations, all checked. What's the last piece of the puzzle?
Long-term economic outlook. Tourism's big, but a diverse economy can handle those bumps in the road better.
You don't want to put all your eggs in one basket.
Especially with investments.
Right. So when you're looking at the economy, check out the tourism industry, but also what else is going on? Infrastructure development, government policies that attract foreign investment, that kind of thing.
It's about looking past those beautiful beaches, seeing if Phuket has got what it takes for sustainable growth. Now, before we wrap this deep dive up, I want to go back to something that's been on my mind. That mention of condos near the monument in Phuket.
Interesting, right. Not the typical investor hotspot, so maybe there's some hidden potential there. Exactly. I'm thinking maybe it's got this unique blend of, like, peacefulness and convenience. Close to stuff, but away from the tourist crowds.
Could be a big draw for some renters. You know, people who want to experience Phuket without being right in the middle of everything.
And might be a more affordable way to get into the market compared to, say, those beachfront villas.
Definitely worth looking into.
Yeah.
What kind of rental yields are we talking about? What's the potential for appreciation as the area grows? Lots to consider.
It's like a little treasure hunt waiting for the right investor.
Well, everyone, we've covered a lot today. The allure of Phuket, the opportunities, the potential downsides, those crucial steps before you invest.
We went through market trends, the legal side, renovations, exit strategies, diversification, even how to recession-proof your investments.
But the biggest takeaway, knowledge is power. Keep researching, asking questions, exploring this exciting world of Phuket real estate.
Happy investing, everyone.
And that's a wrap for our deep dive on Phuket real estate. Hope you enjoyed it. Catch you on the next one.